Welcome everybody. Today we're baking Tsoureki, which is also known as Greek sweet bread. Step 1, get that yeast working with water and sugar and leave it activate. It's going to take about 10 to 15 minutes, so set that aside while we're working on everything else. Don't worry about writing down this easy bread recipe. The entire easy recipe is going to be in the description, so be sure to check that out. Step number 2, we're going to beat those eggs. Do me a favor as well, hit that subscribe button while we're watching. Next, we have our melted butter. We're going to add that in and keep on mixing everything together. Okay, there's that room temperature milk and 1 bottle of anise. Here comes the yeast mixture. You can see that nice puffiness after we let it activate. We'll go ahead and get all of that in there and bring all of those wet ingredients together. This Greek bread is one of my dad's specialties, so you may have noticed we've actually added him into this video to show us and lend us his expertise.
Oh yeah, this is the hook that needs the bread.
So here come the dry ingredients. It's a nice mixture of flour, sugar, and salt. Be certain when you're baking this bread, you add in your dry ingredients slowly, whether that's half a cup or 1 cup at a time, to make sure they are all well incorporated along with those wet ingredients. This Mixmaster is certainly working hard. It's going to take about 20 minutes to knead this bread thoroughly. I don't know about you, but I could watch bread baking and mixing all day long.
This is baking live right now, Tsoureki. We say in Greek. Check this out. You want to bake bread? This is like a little bakery inside our own kitchen.
When baking, it's so important to be precise and follow every step. So let this bread knead for 20 minutes. It's going to be a little bit sticky, but not too sticky where you cannot remove it from the bowl. Look at that swirl going on. I love this. Okay, time to remove that from the bowl so we can let it rise and rest for about 5 hours. Always unplug your Mixmaster before you start removing the paddles and the dough. Right, look at this. That is heavy dough. Thankfully, my dad's letting his biceps do all the work. You can see how that's just releasing nicely from the bowl.
Nice. That's exactly the way it's supposed to be. A little sticky, but not sticky on your fingers. Now, we're going to cover it and we're going to leave it rest for 5 hours to rise.
While that dough is doing its thing, we're going to go ahead and bake some cookies, so check out that easy recipe as well. Here it is, 5 hours later. Look at that dough. Look at the size of that. That makes a lot of bread. All right, just a little massage on that bread. It's helping release all the air. And then we're going to go ahead and slice this into different portion sizes. You'll add a little bit of flour to your surface. That'll help it from sticking. You can see how that dough is just releasing nicely from the bowl. Here my dad is just giving this a little bit of a workover by hand. He's going to roll that a few times. Look at the size of that dough. As I said, this makes a lot of bread. We take this down to about 6 separate loaves. You can make them a little bit bigger, the bread loaves, into 4, or you can make it into 8, but 6 usually works for this recipe really nicely. So we're going to go ahead and divide that into 6 and set it aside. Once you've divided your dough into 6 separate balls, then we're going to cut each one of those balls into 3 separate pieces so we can go ahead and roll them out into separate strands to braid the bread. Right, this is where a little family competition breaks out. You've got my dad, my mom, and myself all going to roll separate loaves, but we have a similar style. Watch how my dad works the dough from the center out towards the exterior. Gently massaging and rolling out towards the exterior. And once he's got those ready, we're going to move on to the braiding process. Right, so here you'll notice at the top of the braid, my dad is going to take all 3 of his strands and fold them together to make a nice little ball. And he'll work that over, pinching gently and folding under. And now he's going to get set to braid. So watch this. He's got a methodical process, very measured. See here how he's working that braid, nice, tight, and compact. And at the bottom, he'll do that same thing that he did at the top with a nice pinch and tuck under. All right, next up is my mom. You'll see how she's doing the same thing with that dough. She's starting at the middle of the dough and she's rolling out towards the exterior. All right, speed does not necessarily matter, but look at my mom's speed here. She uses her quick reflexes and reaction time to complete this braid. You'll notice here how she's folding 2 over, setting to the side, folding 2 over, setting to the side, and at the base, she does the same thing, the pinch, the tuck, and the roll. All right, let's see if she sticks the finish. Similar to my dad, she makes it nice and compact, making sure that's ready to go, but her finishing touch is a rollover. All right, next up is yours truly. I want a shot at winning the championship belt. If this were WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment, I'd be looking for a title shot. So my method, I've got a combination of both parents here. Starting from the center, rolling towards the exterior, I'm methodical along with the speed, a great baking combination.
Okay, now that you have these separated in 3, we're gonna show you how to braid your bread.
So in Greek, we do things in 3s, so I'm third up on this list on braiding the bread. We're also using 3 separate strands of dough to braid that bread. So as you can see, I'm doing the same method at the top. I'm doing a nice pinch, a tuck, and a roll. And now I'm gonna get on to braiding. I'll pull 2 of those aside, do a twist, move them aside, and twist the other 2, and so forth until I complete the entire braid. Look at how tight it is and compact. Throw a comment down below. Who wins that championship belt for the roll-off?
I mean, what a roll. What a roll. Was that not perfect first take?
The finishing touches for the bread are also very important. So here we're putting on a little bit of an egg wash and we're going to finish it off with some sesame seeds. What you can also do is give the egg wash prior to braiding the bread. It's another method. You want to give that one a try, by all means, go for it. Here we're egg washing after. There's a little bit more going on that loaf. And there is my dad finishing off with some sesame seeds, and it's all ready for the oven. Today we are baking bread in the oven at 350 degrees for approximately 35 minutes. We want to see it nice and golden brown.
Oh, we gotta give him a head of shake.
With this bread all loaded up in the oven, be sure halfway through the baking process to spin those trays around to ensure a nice even bake. Here they come. Look at that color. This bread smells absolutely fantastic. Be sure to give this easy recipe a try in your own kitchen. You can always have some fun. Tsoureki. There it is. Look at the golden brown color finished off with those sesame seeds, and it is all ready to go.
Time to cut into this loaf, Tsoureki. Check it out inside. Okay, let's try some. Turns out, let's see. That looks pretty good. Yep. Boom!
Thanks for watching, everybody, on how to bake Greek bread. Tsoureki. Hoppa!